I think Western art has always had a really close connection to the Western landscape and nature, and I think that's a really special thing that makes Western art distinctive. You know, since the West was settled and people started to create what would later be recognized as Western art, they had to make everything by hand, and they had to use the materials that were available on the landscape. So they used stone and leather and wood. And the use of those natural materials from the natural Western setting is very special, and I think contemporary artists have done a great job keeping that tradition of hand crafting materials from the Western environment.
But I think that kind of wild and independent spirit is still there. And I think much of Western design reflects that, or continues to reflect that, in terms of the imagery used, in terms of materials used.
Western art's really special because it doesn't try to cover up the Western environment. It tries to celebrate the Western environment. So you see a lot of the same organic lines and colors that you would see on the landscape.
A lot of the wood is found out here. What's common is juniper. This is a piece of juniper. It could be a base for a table. We have a few of these with the spiral. I'm always amazed at how nature makes this grow. This could be a chair arm like that, but you know, we have spiral ones. Thin stock, wise, almost like a trestle. I gathered most, if not all, up in the foothills, and I bring my pickup truck and a chainsaw. And this is all my future furniture. We save everything. I mean, nothing goes to the garbage. We try to find the four legs that kind of look like they grew up together. That one leg isn't really busy and this one's really straight and plain. So it's kind of like, I call it like making a good salad. You know, you got texture, you got colors, and we put it together. I think a good artist puts his heart and soul in a piece. And I think that's what it takes.
This construction of rustic Western furniture or tanning of hides or beadwork is so important to the texture of this country. I think that's deep-seated in every American. That sort of response to the West is part of our history, it's part of our dreams. They're going to see the Rocky Mountains or they're going to see the Grand Canyon. I think it remains today.
I think Western art and design throughout its history has been a way for people to express why they love the American West. If today's craftspeople don't pass that on to a new generation, we will lose a way to express why we love this place and why we think it's special.